Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be talking with Brent Smith. He is the Kinney County attorney, and we wanted to bring him on today to speak with y'all. We were trying to schedule this just so you guys can get familiar with our surrounding counties. Of course, we're based out of Maverick County, Eagle Pass, but we recently did see Brent Smith was a strong supporter of the Declaration of local disaster, state disaster, and we saw this declaration get spread amongst many of our border communities and counties. So we wanted to reach out to him so he can explain a little bit about what's going on in Kinney County and maybe elaborate on the immigration crisis or whatever his opinion is on it. He can go ahead and let us know about that. We see that he's on already, so we're going to go ahead and bring him on. Hey, Mr. Smith, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we get you good. We hear you good. So how are you doing today? I want to thank you. I know we've been trying to sit down and have a little chat, right, about what's going on with the issues, but thank you for taking some time. We appreciate that.
No worry. No, it's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Well, we want to go ahead and start off. I mean, the first thing that I saw about a state declaration local disaster, right, was you coming out on Facebook and sharing a lot of that the two papers that we filed, the local disaster. So, do you want to explain to everybody watching what was the reason or what enacted, what was the background on that, what motivated you to go ahead and move forward with a bold step like that?
Right. Well, the declaration, normally the way it would work is the governor would declare a state of emergency and, he would send the proper resources for counties to use and all that. But for some reason, Governor Abbott has not acted and done anything about the border crisis. And, as county attorney, I have limited power to do much about it. But one of the things I could do was, publish a letter, which I published, I think 3 weeks ago, which actually y'all shared on your website. When I did that, that kind of kicked the whole thing off. And after that, Goliad contacted us, and they drove down here the next day to meet with us to let us know that they're behind us, any resources we have. So we decided to do the declaration because for counties, that's the first step you have to legally do before you can even request aid from the governor. You can't just make a request. Most of the time, usually when you do a declaration, it gives out a legal notice to all the state of Texas officials and the governor to where they have to know about it when you do it that way. And it also opens certain doors to resources. It opens doors for the sheriff to get resources from other counties as well, law enforcement assistance. And so that was the first step we did. And I know that, several counties did the same day. I know Edwards, Goliad, and probably 3 or 4 other counties did the same day we did. And right now we're trying to track counties that also have done it. I think we're probably about at 20 counties or so probably done. I've heard Maverick has. I can't verify that, but I heard a rumor on Facebook.
Yes, they did approve it at their last county commissioners court meeting.
Great. And so right now we're trying to get everyone on board with doing that because that'll basically put pressure on the governor. The more counties that declare, the more pressure that's going to be on him to actually do something about it. And I don't recall ever having a governor that we had to force to help us with the border. It's kind of pathetic in my view.
No, yeah, and I could see how it could be frustrating. I mean, we down here in the border have seen. We see what's going on. We see the issues. We see the threats. Right now, I think what we see a lot, especially on Facebook, is all the different constables and sheriff's departments sharing these photographs with us, and it's on a daily basis.
Right.
I'm curious as to Kinney County, what kind of struggles or what's going on with you guys with the border crisis? What are you seeing over there?
Oh, we're having bailouts, pretty much every day. Probably a lot what Eagle Pass has. Just today when I was trying to leave for work, I walk out of the house. And I live on a ranch probably about 4 miles outside of town. And we had a group walk up to the house. So instead of getting in the truck and going to work, I walked back in, called the Border Patrol. And they were actually pretty good at showing up this time. I think it's fluctuation on how many they're processing. But, a few weeks ago, I talked to the head chief in charge at this station in Brackettville, and they only had 3 Border Patrol agents out in our station area, which is, at least 16 miles of border. 3. Yeah. And then in the Comstock area, they had 0 agents in the field because they're all busy processing. So basically 0 present. I mean, three agents in the field for, 16-mile border is pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And Comstock, they actually had 0 agents in the field. And today they actually had 4, I believe. So it fluctuates, but 3 to 4 for this type of area. It's you can't do anything about it. I mean, and it's not their fault. I don't blame Border Patrol at all. I'm fully supportive of them. It's the policies of the higher ups in Washington that are creating this problem.
Absolutely. And I mean, you're saying that there's only 3 Border Patrol station to cover your guys' county's area, and I know the sheriff also struggles with manpower as well. He has it's a 7-man crew, I believe, and he has 6 people with 70% of their workload or calls having to deal with immigration issues.
You cut out for a little bit there.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. What I was trying to stress, and if you can comment on the limited resources that also the sheriff has, and he's doing as much as he can out there. Sheriff Cole, he has, I believe, we read somewhere like 6 deputies, and they're all 70% of the work or calls that they get are towards immigration.
Right. Yeah. And they're all, they're so busy with just immigration because basically they're our immigration enforcement. With 3 agents in the field from Border Patrol, which is pretty much nothing, we're left with local law enforcement having to enforce, the immigration policies. And what's also frustrating is, when they do spend all those resources and catch the illegal aliens, they bring them to Border Patrol, and then most of them are just getting let go. So we're spending resources, apprehending them, turning them over to Border Patrol, where they're most of the time let go. And we actually attended a Agri-Women conference yesterday in Uvalde, where the Border Patrol sector chief was there, and he gave some statistics on just how the cartels run this business on the border. Because right now, make no mistake, they control both sides of the border for sure. And they were saying, the OTMs, which is a Border Patrol acronym for other than Mexican, and a child, they charge $5,000 to cross. OTMs who are a child, they charge $4,788 to cross. OTMs who are an adult, which is by far the highest activity, they charge $7,185. And then Mexican adults, they charge $4,892. And for the Del Rio sector, get this, for the Del Rio sector, the cartel has a weekly estimated revenue of $25 million each week. That's what we're facing.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and these statistics these numbers come straight from the Border Patrol, right? You said?
Yeah, straight from Border Patrol. And a lot of landowners showed up and hoping that they would have an answer to the solution, that Border Patrol was going to do X, Y, Z to help. At the end of the presentation, Border Patrol basically said, we don't have any other help coming. We don't plan or foresee any other help coming. We can't accept private donations. We can't accept private volunteers. Everything has to come through the federal government. So they gave us all these dire statistics, and at the end concluded by saying, y'all are on your own, basically. And I think the state, the people, the landowners that were there were really upset. But the only good that came from it is, I realized a long time ago, the federal government's not going to help us with this. And I think a lot of those landowners got that message that you're not going to get help from the federal government in this. It's going to have to be state or county that does this. And after that meeting, I think a lot of them realized that. But I mean, the Biden administration is releasing detainees into the state of Texas without COVID-19 testing, without court dates, without any accountability. And they're being supplied with hotel rooms, food, healthcare, even cash and transportation, all at the taxpayer expense. We're paying for all of it. And a lot of counties in Texas, especially up in North, Dallas area up there, they're like, well, we're not on the border. That's not going to affect us. Yeah, you're going to be paying for it. You're going to be paying your tax dollars for it. And sooner or later, it will affect you. You're going to have people up there that your crime rates are going to rise. Your car chases are going to rise. I mean, look at Goliad County. They're 4 hours away from the border. Well, they're 4 hours away from us. and they're having car chases on a daily basis, something they never saw before. So it is going to affect all of Texas for sure financially.
Yeah, and that's what we had touched on a little bit earlier, that we did have we see that come out on Facebook with a lot of the smaller sheriff's departments and the constable offices, and it's a constant everyday thing that you can scroll on Facebook, and you're seeing these
Right.
car chases. You're seeing different types of crime activity that has risen just recently in the past couple of months. So it's getting pretty bad out there.
And one example is not many people realize this. They don't think about it. But I was talking to our EMS director the other day, and he was talking about they had a circumstance the other day where in Kinney County, we don't have, like a lot of small counties, we don't have a lot of resources for EMS. We have one paramedic on duty at a time. And paramedics, I was told, are the only ones that can do certain procedures and administer certain drugs, not the regular EM techs. It has to be a paramedic. Well, we had a bailout one evening, and so the paramedic and the EMS crew went out there to take care of some illegal aliens that were injured in an accident. But while they were out there, we had an elderly resident have a stroke, and paramedics couldn't get back to her in time to save her life, and she died. And the EMS director was telling us that, if they would have been there, or a paramedic could have gotten there sooner, she would have likely lived. So that's something that a limited resource county, that's the effect of it. And I think a lot of counties are in the same boat as Kinney County. They have limited resources, and is it their mother that's going to have that happen to them? Who knows? But that's a good example of how having limited resources, being stretched too thin, can actually cause people's death.
Yeah. So what's the just to wrap things up here? What would you like to see happen after getting this declaration submitted? Hopefully getting something out of Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott. What would be your, best scenario case coming from?
You mean with Governor Abbott's help?
Yeah. I'm saying we submitted the declaration, right?
Right.
We follow that process. Governor Abbott, that's the end goal, is for him to declare the disaster, or where do you want to?
What I would hope he would do would, and this is in his authority to do that. No matter what you read online, he has the authority to shut down roads in the state of Texas, unless they're an interstate. The federal government owns interstates. If I were him, I would shut down the TxDOT roads leading to every entry point in Mexico, and call the president of Mexico and say, we're shutting down every entry point, or the roads leading to every entry point, until illegal immigration ceases. Because the Mexican government's getting kickbacks from the cartel on this money that they're making. And if you shut down every road going to every entry point until the illegal immigration ceases, they'll do that. Like, the hit that they're going to take financially will force the Mexican government to call the cartels and tell them to calm down. And then, once illegal immigration ceases or comes to a certain level, he can open one entry point at a time until they're back all open, but to where it's a controlled immigration. And we have immigration laws set up in place, and that's what all the Texans want, is to have controlled, fair immigration policies. And we have those, but they're not being enforced. And I think the governor doing that, and also sending like the state military forces in here to patrol at the border themselves. Because once you let them in 30 miles, once they're already 30 miles in, your resources that you have to use to prevent them from going any further is a lot more. If you could have them at the border, it would greatly aid in creating border enforcement. But if that's what I would hope the governor would do. And I think these declarations, the more counties that actually do them, the stronger message is kind of sent to the governor.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we thank you for your time. Kinney County Attorney Brent Smith. I don't know if you have any last words or anything else to say, but we appreciate it again for you taking your time. We don't want to take too much of your time, but we were really interested, and we saw this come out from you first, so we wanted to get in contact with you and have you, explain everything to us.
Well, I appreciate the time, and I would just encourage people to, at this point, contact their local judge, the county judge, the county commissioners, and their state reps.
Awesome. All right. Well, we won't take your time anymore. We thank you, and you have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. That was Kinney County Attorney Brent Smith. We got in contact with him just recently, and we were trying to schedule this up for you guys so you guys can. Several people did see the information that we put out, sharing his declaration, and we saw Maverick County also do a declaration of local disaster. So we wanted to bring you the backstory on it, from where we got it from. That's what we did with Kinney County Attorney Brent Smith, and to talk a little bit about what he sees in his county, in addition to what we all see here in Maverick County. It's the whole area is pretty consistent with the car chases that are going on, the bailouts. We share a lot of the stuff that's coming out from a lot of the constables and other sheriff's departments on our page. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But we'll be back later on tonight. We will be interviewing Rolando Salinas, mayor candidate, for about 20 minutes or so, real quick. He is a little busy, so we appreciate his time. And that's at 7 o'clock tonight. And we also will have Miss Monica Cruz joining us. So that's something you need to tune in and check out, guys, this evening. 7 o'clock, Rolando Salinas. 8 o'clock, we have Monica Cruz. If we able to reschedule, we had to reschedule Leroy Orestes, candidate for place 4. We had to reschedule his interview due to the mail-in ballot issue. I'll go ahead and comment and say what we got on that. There was a report that we put out about 100 missing mail-in votes. That was the initial report we got. We were trying to seek the election judge's comment on it, and we finally did, and we're going ahead and changing the story. What it was, and we're letting you guys know, is that there was 36 ballots that had not gotten sent out, mail-in ballots that had not gotten sent out to whoever had requested them. The emails, or it was an IT issue, to where there was 36 emails that were not able to cross over, or were not able to notify that they needed to send out an application. So we spoke with the election judge, City Secretary Melda Rodriguez. She corrected the story for us, and it was 36. Those 36 that they have been mailed out already, they have been sent out. They can either come by the multipurpose and submit them directly to the city, the election judge, or at the election site, or they can come out on Saturday and vote then. So those are the two options, and it was a IT issue, to where this is what was explained to us by Imelda, was an IT issue that happened, and those emails didn't get in, and so they weren't able to send out those 36 mail-in ballots. So it's going to be interesting the way that works out, whether those work into the actual decision, because if one of the races comes down to under 36 votes, that's going to be a big question and will come into question. So that's something interesting to be asked. Did BIC call back? BIC? I'm getting off the comments. Did Bic call back? Is he being interviewed soon? Who's BIC? I'm asking Clarissa Mayen in the comments if she's still on. I just saw that comment right now. But anyways, guys, catch us later today. We have those 2 interviews coming up. If we can get another one rescheduled with Leroy Oresti, we will. Brother in Christ Cifuentes. No, we have not heard back from Luis Cifuentes. We haven't heard anything from him. We did send him out an email after we got the voicemail to him. We want to speak with them. We gave him an opportunity to answer some questions at the multipurpose. He asked, hey, he committed to an interview later on at another time. So we've been following up. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get that done. Hopefully, maybe we can sometime today. Mr. Mayor Luis Cifuentes, if you can reach out to us, you have my number. We have exchanged texts, or I've sent you a text. You send me an email, a voicemail. Left me a voicemail actually. So get back to us. Let us know. Even if you don't want an interview, just so we don't have people with hope over here trying to get an interview, right? Well, we're going to let you guys go. Catch us later on tonight. Like I said, we have two interviews, two candidates for the place four. We have not been able to secure Miss Mari Carmen Perales Rangel. We're still open to interviewing her. We're not doing. We can accommodate to your time if you get in contact with us and let us know you want to have an interview with us, and we appreciate it. And it's not for us, but for the community, the people. They want to know a few questions, and we'll let them ask a few questions as well. Well, thank you guys for watching the interview with Kinney County Attorney Brent Smith. We thank him again for taking time of his busy schedule right now during these hours. So you guys will catch you later.